Sage Against the Machine. I'm Joshua.
I'm Isaac.
And we're here to talk about local events and politics and maybe some international. You want to talk about some national stuff?
Yeah, I do. I want to talk about the presidential election.
Conqueror's land.
Yeah.
All right. You been following it?
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty closely.
What are your thoughts?
I think Donald Trump is a moron, and I think Kamala Harris is not far behind. I don't know. They're both, to me, I don't see anybody as being some sort of savior for, not just for Onkwehonwe, but for people in general, working class people, regular people. I know people get this idea that we're, like, you go through this thing of, what I was thinking about this the other day on the drive home from work was, I almost want Donald Trump to win because I am so sick of, your standard fare Democrats, the vote blue no matter who people.
Yeah.
With all their nonsense about the world's going to end if Donald Trump gets another term. I can't stand the fucking guy, but the world's not going to end.
No, I mean, this lady's been a vice president for the past 4 years, and so how much of a departure would it be? I've noticed how I'm pretty agnostic when I come to U.S. politics. I'm like, which bag of shit do you want to pick?
Yeah.
And I've noticed how people have pivoted, and I suppose you have, the way the system is, you don't have many other options. But I really don't like voting for third parties, just voting for Donald Trump. And it's just like, well, that's because you do that. Like, if you actually voted for a third party en masse, it would do something.
That's the whole point, I think. And that's part of my frustration with the standard fare Democrats is, these people, I really went deep into it on my drive home because, it's an hour. So I really get a chance to kind of dig into my own brain. And I thought, why does it seem like I'm kind of rooting for Donald Trump? And I'm like, no, I'm not rooting for Donald Trump. I'm rooting because I think it would be hilarious to watch all of these establishment Democrats cry.
Yeah.
Because it's just getting so fucking tiresome to hear this. The sky is falling. This is the most important election ever. They say that every fucking election now.
Yeah.
Like the last, 5 cycles.
Yeah.
It's the most important election ever.
It's always.
Right. It always is. And it's important, of course, but.
Is it though?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, I think it's important.
I mean, they blew away Kennedy and they had him replaced the next day. So.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So
we should talk about that one day. I love that. I
don't know who did it. Was it Alan Dulles? Who knows?
I would strongly... I believe he certainly played a part.
Was it Castro? Maybe.
He may have played a part. I really do believe.
Did they just let it happen like the Secret Service did?
I don't think so necessarily, but I do think the CIA played a part. And I do think that they got some help from the mob.
Yeah.
And I do believe that there were certainly Cuban exiles, anti-Castro Cuban folks who certainly helped out too. But
I don't get it. I don't get that fear of communism. I don't really believe in communism.
No.
I don't think it would work. I think the theory is bad. I don't think it's good in theory. I think it does not work at all in theory.
Why would the theory of communism?
Because it doesn't take into account time. And it doesn't take into account human action. Humans aren't machines that will just act as accordingly. It's like building a society on virtue.
Okay.
So I think the theory is bad. And it doesn't factor in time, right? In fact, the means of production aren't just factories.
Right.
They're time.
There's more resources than just physical and monetary. Yeah, capital.
And all resources are finite.
Yeah.
Even sand.
Yeah.
The planet is running out of sand. Sand will probably run out before oil.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. Because we make so much concrete. You can't just use any sand for concrete. And we use so much sand that we are running out of the right kind of sand.
Why are we not making hempcrete more?
I don't know.
I don't understand that.
I mean,
You don't need sand for that, right?
you do have a global corporate setup that,
Sure.
but then you also have global capitalists who want to make money. So if hempcrete is something that is
They'll take it over.
competitive,
Yeah.
why wouldn't they? So it might just be it's not the time yet, or it might be a regulatory thing. Often when you ask why something isn't, that's obvious. It's a regulatory thing.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Akwesasne have skyscrapers?
Oh man, I love telling people that when we get into when I start talking to other people about our housing shortage and all that stuff. I love to trot out your point about why don't we build up?
Yeah.
And then you can even see. I mean, the first time we talked about it, I remember I probably looked like that. Like, never considered that before. But yeah, why don't we? It's a wild thing. I talked to, because I know 2 libertarians, you and this other guy. And
I'm not all the way libertarian either.
Well, you're pretty heavily in there, but
I do like communal action.
Sure, yeah.
I just don't like it at the national level, and I think designing things around the current paradigm just will give you what you have now.
Yeah, I don't think there can be any doubt really that the current structure of everything is not. It's good for a small, tiny percentage of people.
A 1%.
Yeah, but it's not good for the rest of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that just gets borne out.
It's better than Vikings raiding and pillaging.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. That looks good. To be the pillager must be kind of fun.
Yeah, that's got to be quite a rock and roll fucking existence.
Right?
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I've never raised anything to the ground. Maybe that would be some fun.
Yeah, right. Halloween's coming. 'Tis the season for arson.
People are going to think that Sage Against the Machine is going to be loading up to raise towns to the ground. Watch out for it. Watch out.
I'm pretty sure that's what the townies are scared of.
Probably.
It's Fort's super weird because it's like it's 2 communities. It's Akwesasne East, and it's the leftovers of Fort Covington people, many of whom are blended in.
Yeah, sure.
But seem to have not learned anything.
Yeah, I mean, kind of seems. I don't spend a lot of time in Fort, but it seems like the people that I do know from Fort, the younger ones, there's seems to be there's an understanding there more than I can imagine from the old people.
They won't talk about Indians that way anymore, but they will talk about immigrants that way.
Oh yeah,
see, you'll see it. You'll see the white come out quickly.
You know what? That was actually that was one of the things for. Did you watch the debate at all?
I didn't. I've seen the memes.
Yeah, it was. I guess because the next day when I was looking at the recaps, analysis, and all that shit, I was able to watch parts of it when it was going live, but I guess that I missed a lot because the headlines I saw on YouTube and stuff, it was Trump gets his ass kicked and Kamala looks like a genius and shit like that. And I'm like, what? Because what I saw, that wasn't, you know what I mean? That wasn't what I had seen. And then I get to watch more of it over, the last day or two. And I'm like, okay, now I get why they say that because he fucked up big time.
Yeah. And, that's what I've read on the internet. And my friends are very much into, I have friends very much into this stuff. And, they're kind of celebrating.
It's fascinating.
She's a fascist too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like
she was fucking top cop in California, fucking selling out, basically turning prisoners, using their labor, essentially forced labor and whatever. She's not some fucking hero or anything. Plus, too, I really do think she's a bubblehead. I just think that it's the same for any politician. If you give them a script, and they can stick to the script, they're really just actors.
Yeah. She's good looking and she can speak. And
Yeah, I mean, Trump is his own thing. He's clearly not working from a script. And I always give him credit. He is.
I mean, he took that bullet pretty well.
Dude. Remember when we were talking about that right after it first happened?
Yeah.
I swear, too, there are so many people who, and I can understand why some people, the knee jerk would be, this was all a setup, you know. I don't understand that myself personally. I could see why. I don't know. We'll see in the next, over the next 20 years, what information comes out. But
what I think about it is, I think it's hilarious that the same group of people who will say that will often be like very also pro-America.
Oh yeah,
and very pro-police and very very fascistic.
Yeah,
and authoritarian in the way they think.
Oh yeah, but
and at the same time have all these conspiracy theories and harking back to some age where it was better than this, when we know we have evidence that it's much worse.
Yeah.
In the past.
I mean,
they didn't have the same amount of tools.
Nope.
But the people also didn't have the tools to, the 60s was a shakeup, and then we got to see what those idiots are really up to.
I actually think that, to me, it kind of seems as though after JFK was assassinated, that really was, you can start to see there's this steady race to the bottom to, the inverted triangle, like push everything, all the shit down, and then the people at the top get to chill. I think that really seemed to be sped up after he was killed, because they clearly don't want all of us to prosper.
Well, I mean, if it's a farm, you're the cow. The
Yeah.
taxpayers are the cows.
Yeah.
You can't kill the cows.
No.
Not all of them. You want to just suck off the cream.
You want to beat them down enough so that they...
Yeah, you don't want them to escape.
You want them to go into their stall when you want them to, so they can get milked. And, I mean, it's a good metaphor.
It is.
It is a good metaphor.
If the people are a farm, that's why they want to do something to the COVID was a conspiracy to reduce the population.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't reduce it that much.
No.
It's a lot of work to
Yeah.
not have that much effect, and all those people are taxpayers.
Yeah. So why would they do that?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's still... I mean, I got a kick out of with COVID. And now, I mean, I think it's pretty clear at this point that likely came out of that fucking lab, and that gain of function research was being funded by the NIH.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
Never waste a disaster.
No, man, you gotta
never waste a disaster.
Money on that.
They're probably already working on it, and this thing happened. It's just like in Israel. They probably didn't make October 7th thing happen, but they could have, but they certainly used it.
They certainly didn't stop it from happening.
No.
And they knew from, the things that have come out. No.
They certainly used it, and both candidates aren't calling it a genocide when it's clearly a genocide and an ethnic cleansing.
I think you and I had talked about this before. I was refusing. I still don't like to use the word genocide with it, because I think that just lets people start being stupid and, it's not really a genocide, and that was created to describe what happened during the Holocaust. I'm like, okay, fine. So, like, I'll just call it mass murder.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
That's as if it's better, right?
Right, exactly. Like,
yeah.
It's this terminology. It's like
we also use it for Cambodia, and this is very close to that.
Yeah. Wait, Cambodia, that was the Khmer Rouge, right?
Yeah.
I just had to make sure.
Yeah.
I thought I was right on that.
We pretty much use it to describe the mass killing of a particular ethnic group.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this is. The mass killing and expulsion.
Yeah.
And it's not just the Gaza Strip now. I see plenty of videos from the West Bank who aren't powered by Hamas.
They're starting to light up the West Bank now, too.
Yeah.
Which is totally unsurprising.
I just feel bad for those people.
So do I.
And I just think it's shitty.
It is.
I think it's shitty and it's unnecessary.
Totally unnecessary.
So.
Absolutely unnecessary.
Yeah, none of this had to happen.
No.
It could have been groovy.
Yeah, and the thing is, it really could have been groovy. instead of a groove bullet.
Which is why that's where we're going to bury all our nuclear waste. We'll just take the problem away from everybody forever.
I don't.
Just right in Jerusalem.
The Palestinian shit is just fucking driving me nuts. And the thing too is, like, talking about, like you said, and you're right, Kamala Harris and Trump, neither one of them are interested in any way to stop what's going on.
Stop it. So many bombs. Bombs are great. When you sell bombs, it's like selling fireworks.
It is great for their business.
Boom. And then you get to sell them another one.
Yep.
Because they need more.
Continuous war, continuous genocide, that's profitable. It's not only profitable for the MIC, it's also profitable for real estate developers like Jared Kushner. I mean, the shit is, it's gross. It's really, really gross.
It's gross to see really smart, educated people blind to it.
I don't think they're blind to it.
They're not. They have to be willingly letting it happen.
Yeah, I think that they are willingly letting it happen.
Because it's defended by very smart people.
Yeah.
Very apparently compassionate, smart people.
And that's the thing. People, when they talk about that,
that's how it mirrors Germany, by the way.
Yeah. I think that's the more apt comparison. You know what I mean? Like, for which side you're going to point that finger at. I think actually the more apt comparison to the Nazis is Israel at this point.
Yeah.
And the people who are pushing this shit. It's nuts.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how people can go to sleep at night knowing that it's, the people who are the people who are enabling it, it's really fucked up. It's monstrous.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually saw someone on Twitter, and yes, I know, audience, Twitter can be quite a cesspool.
It's called X.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Elon Musk can fucking eat a bag of dicks as far as I'm concerned. I don't like that guy. But, somebody actually, I have no idea if they were native or not, but somebody on Twitter, they said what they did in Gaza is just like what they did to the natives here. And they said Gaza's basically like a reservation. And I'm like, yeah, that's...
Well, not only that, if you actually read the documents created by the early Zionists, that was the model they used.
Yes.
They used the words of colonization. They said, just as the Europeans had to push out the native people, we shall push out the native people of this region and make it our homeland.
And you know who else used that language and that template? Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
He was very, very admiring of the way that the U.S. and Britain and the rest of them dumped out, thousands of, millions upon millions of dead people who were Onkwehonwe, just to clear them all out, take all the land, steal all the resources, and then continue to perpetuate that to this very day. That's another reason why I think of it like that, is it's more apt to compare Israel and their backers as the closest comparison to Nazis in this situation.
Don't call it an evil worldwide cabal.
Oh, it's
that sounds like a conspiracy.
You're anti-Semitic.
I'm not, but
you hate Jewish people.
I don't. I love them. They have good bread.
I don't believe you. Oh man, challah bread is so good.
It's so good.
Fuck, man. You ever made a grilled cheese with it?
No.
Yeah, that's fat boy style right there.
Yeah, no, man. I like to go get it when it's still hot.
I've never had it hot.
Yeah, they do it in Potsdam at the bakery every Friday.
Really?
Yeah, you go grab it when it's still hot, and you get the Kerrygold butter, and you put it right on there, and you just eat it like a pig. You eat an entire loaf, then you go get sick. It's so good.
Challah bread is fucking good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, no, I'm not anti-Semitic, but you know what?
I was joking, you know that.
I was in line to get on a roller coaster for quite a while, and then this family of that particular ethnic group got the cut in front of me pass. It came through right before it was our turn, and at that moment, I was a little.
That was the closest you came to being a true anti-Semite?
Yeah. To be fair, though, if I were them, I would never wait in line to get on a train ever again.
Oh.
That was a bit. I'm sorry. It's a bit I'm working on.
Oh shit! That, you know what? That sounds like something Ari Shaffir would say.
He's good. See, I like
He
Jewish
is.
people. He's
Yeah.
he's like the best.
Oh man,
I-
I've had so many people call me an anti-Semite on fucking Twitter and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I mean, just keep labeling people that who really aren't, and
It melts the word.
yeah, it
And,
does.
You know?
Nerfs it totally.
Yeah. It's like calling people Nazis who aren't.
Yeah,
Like it nerfs the word. Let's keep this is a bad word. Let's keep it a bad word.
yeah.
And use it where it's appropriate.
I mean, they used to call George W. Bush a Nazi. I'm like,
Yeah.
Dude, he fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, I
He's just
get
a
it.
regular right-wing fascist.
Yes, he's just a regular right-wing fascist, dickhead, dummy. I don't see Hitler in there at all.
Whose dad was the head of the CIA
Yep.
and president.
Who-
That's not weird.
So HW, he went back to like when the CIA, before it was even the CIA, right?
I'm
Like
not
when it
sure
was
how far
OSS
back.
or
I'm
something?
not sure how far back he was in it, but he was in the Second World War. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
because it began with the OSS.
Yeah, the OSS, and
and then it formed it there. But there was like the Dulles brothers that made it. And
yeah, and I'm pretty sure he was around like
He
in
was
the
probably around.
formative years.
he was around when they were buying all the LSD.
Yeah,
That's true.
I know it's true.
I love how many crazy ass things are true.
Yeah, and people think you're nuts if you.
Yeah.
But I mean, MK Ultra, that was some real shit.
I got to say that on the news
Really?
because Concordia University was trying to put it. Was it Concordia or McGill? McGill was trying to add on to their school, their psychology wing, and they were being protested by Mohawks who were
Yeah.
at the forefront of being annoying to
Yeah.
white liberals.
Yeah.
So, because they had people who had been involved in this psychological study back in the 60s and 70s, and this stuff was these studies were funded as part of the MK Ultra program.
Really?
Because it wasn't just like you worked for MK Ultra. It was like, no, there's this program that had this pot of money.
Sure.
And so the schools are applying for grants
Yep.
and they're getting it from here or there. And some of these grants are connected to the CIA.
Sure.
And that's how it really works. You don't really know you're part of a secret thing, or maybe you do. But
I'm sure some people do.
and guess what? Back in the 60s and early 70s, you could do whatever you want to Native people.
Yeah, that's. Well,
I mean, you could cut their ovaries out without telling them.
Yeah, they were sterilizing our women up until the 80s.
Yeah, if you were a social worker, you just take those Indian kids away. It's still like that in a lot of Canada, by the way.
That's what I think that was you who told me that. I hadn't known that either, that they were still sterilizing Native women in Canada.
Yeah, it's happened a few times. They even today they'll
Unknown
yeah,
to them.
Yeah, they'll also try to encourage you to.
Yeah.
Because reproductive rights are important to us.
And I bet you all those Democrats who are all about reproductive rights have no clue that that's going on at all.
Yeah, or they'll make an excuse for it.
Sure. Because we got to get. What else are you going to do? You got to have health care.
We gotta pick our guy, so we'll fix it.
Yep.
I mean, I've heard even online Native people say, well, they're going to select these judges, and this is the programs that the Biden administration did that help Native people, and some of those are accurate.
Sure.
And some of those are not.
Sure.
Or maybe it's less so. So.
Well, I mean, I'll give Biden this credit. He did pump a lot of money and resources into, programs and such to, that were helpful for Native communities. Much more than I've ever seen any other president do.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I don't have a way to compare. I'm not that into it.
well, I just, it's something that I looked at, working at the paper, I'm trying to keep up on it, what's going on with Indian country. And, I would see all these things. So then I was like, I don't remember too many of these things happening under Trump or even Obama.
Well, the Keystone XL pipeline happened under Obama.
Yeah. Man, I'm fucking done with that guy. I really am. I'm done with that
Between
guy.
the drone strikes and, hey, but he's cool and his wife's kind of hot.
Oh, well, according to Candace Owens, she's a man.
Candace Owens is annoying.
You know what? Here, I've been finding. This has been so.
But she's kind of hot.
She's very pretty. My thing is though, is like the problem ever since. Well, the real problem is that Israel is mass murdering.
That's the real.
Palestinians.
It's stealing their land
real problem.
and stealing their resources.
My big beef with this whole thing going on is that I found myself agreeing with Candace Owens on some stuff and Kim Iverson and Tucker Carlson.
Doesn't it suck when your feed suddenly turns right wing?
Dude, you know what gets on my feed on Twitter now? It's mostly like Brianna Joy Gray, Max Blumenthal, Gray Zone, Electric Intifada, but peppered in there are hardcore Zionists. And I know Elon's doing, they set the algorithm so it's like I can't get rid of them at all.
Yeah.
Even
if they
maybe
don't.
I shouldn't talk about getting rid of Jewish people in that kind of way.
Hey, we're native. We don't even have an Israel.
That's right. God damn it.
We kind of get it.
We fucking right. We get it.
We kind of get it. Like even I get the early want.
Sure.
You
mean to form Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I get it. And like, I'm not even totally against it.
I'm not against it at all.
It's kind of the way they went about it.
But not at the expense.
And then you come into a new place with an attitude and you wonder why the people who live there now have a problem with it. That totally, you try to gentrify it. This is mine now, and I'm going to treat you like a second-class citizen. And then I'm going to act like the victim when you get pissed and you beat me up.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like the kid in school that fucking starts all the problems, and then gets punched out, and then he's running to the teacher. At the time, the teacher being the hardcore British colonials.
Oh man,
because what do they know other than millions and millions and millions of dead?
Hey,
millions
they're one of the
upon
lead
millions.
Architects of all that shit.
Millions upon. They make the Nazis look like toys.
That's a fucking. I know some people don't agree with the number, but I think 100 million Onkwehonwe dead is probably pretty close. You know what I mean? I think that's a fair number.
There's that, and then there's India.
Yeah.
And South Africa.
South Africa, Australia,
Congo, and
in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
All over. Africa. Africa.
Sun never set on them.
No. It's just, it's totally gross.
Europe is bad. We should nuke them.
Well, that's the thing. It's you know what?
We could solve this problem forever.
Fucking right.
We shall rise up.
Let's take all the nukes. Okay, never mind. I kind of figure you and I are both being watched by the feds as it is.
If you're not getting a call from CSIS once in a while, what are you even doing?
Oh shit. Yeah, my
CSIS, make sure you subscribe.
You know you like Sage Against the Machine.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch this shit, NSA, at least give us a goddamn subscription.
And when you fly that drone over my house again, drop some fucking cheeseburgers down. Fucking jerks. Cheeseburgers and some gyros.
It's YouTube. We are the least crazy people on here.
Probably. That's what I was saying though, is I find myself agreeing with some of these people who in general I kind of loathe, but it's
Tucker Carlson's he can be entertaining. When he's not being a blowhard.
Definitely entertaining. He is super arrogant, but there are a couple of things where I really agree with him, the freedom of speech stuff.
Yeah.
Freedom of the press,
When he's not on his show, he's better. When it's not
you think
his,
so?
Yeah, when it's
you think
not,
like when he's getting interviewed is better?
Yeah, and when he's not on a political show.
Uh-huh.
When he's on a comedy show, he's not bad.
No. Did you ever see
he was on Kill
who
Tony.
Bubba Love Sponge is?
Oh no, I know who he is. I'm not a
Okay,
viewer.
back in the day, it probably was like around 06, 07, something like that.
Nearly 20 years ago.
Well, yeah. Fuck, I'm old, man. But he used to go on Bubba the Love Sponge show when Bubba was on Sirius, and highly entertaining. And that was back in the day when he still wore bow ties and shit.
Yeah, that goofy bow tie he used to wear.
But I never would have expected that he would turn into kind of the blowhard, You know, because when you hear him on Tucker, he was like a regular guy,
Yeah.
clearly very intelligent, you know,
Yeah.
knew his shit. But, you know,
There's more money grifting the right than the left.
I'm starting to think that's not the case. Well, I think there's more. I just think that the left is now catching up.
They're working on it, but left-wing grifts are like yoga cults and like, you know, like healing crystals and like NGOs.
I harvested the sage. Here you go.
We have an organization that's millions of dollars administration. We don't actually do anything.
Yeah.
We make a pamphlet.
Yep.
And we have a conference in Hawaii. That's what left-wing grift looks like.
True.
Right-wing grift is like mega churches.
Yep.
War machine.
Yeah. I mean, right-wing grift turns into lobbyists
Yeah.
and like serious pushes to influence policy.
Which
You
one's
know.
dumber? I don't know. I think the religious are dumber.
Yeah. I try not to hate on like religious people too much, but
You believe in the boogeyman. Like, for real? If you do it, like, for real. Like, if you're sending money to a mega church, like, you should be, like, taken care of.
You know what, though? But I understand that people get comfort from it. So
Yeah.
I don't really, you know, I don't.
Judge harder.
I don't begrudge them hard.
Judge harder. Picture the guy in front of you at the dollar store. You're trying to buy cat food. They're paying for $150 of food with EBT. Their mouth's wide open, and their food is entirely made of poison.
Pretty much all food is made of poison now.
That was my experience yesterday.
Yeah? Where'd
Yeah.
you go?
The dollar store for cat food. The guy was just standing there, breathing through his mouth.
Like Eli Manning?
The lady had a cart full of Pepsi, and she had one of those things you wear when you're diabetic to check your blood sugar.
Even I don't do that.
And she paid for it with an EBT card.
And I got
Now, I went a little
way.
right. In that moment, I went a little right wing.
Yeah.
I'd be happier if she was buying filet mignon and lobster with her EBT card than buying that goddamn TV dinners and Pepsi with a diabetic, you know, with the sensor on her.
Probably got a fucking insulin pump too.
Yeah. Now I'm judging hard here, and I know it, but I'm mindful of it.
Well, that's. I mean, I don't think I've ever known anybody who never judges people. You
Yeah.
know,
I do, and they're
don't buy
glorious. They just keep it on the inside.
I don't think anybody can really pull that off. Maybe the Dalai Lama or some shit.
He'll give you a nice kiss too.
Wait, didn't the Dalai Lama, didn't he hang out with Epstein too?
I don't know.
That one popped into my head. I had to
Yeah.
fucking do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it.
I do think it's funny how we made a big deal about him kissing a kid. Like, I don't know if he was being sweet or if he's a weirdo, but like, we know for sure the Catholic Church hides pedophiles.
Yeah.
And it's not just, we always use our experience as Native people. This is shit's worldwide.
Yeah.
Why are they allowed to exist?
Yeah.
Like, why isn't if we believe in government, I don't, but, you know, if we believe in righteousness, why doesn't everyone come together and like, we need to break up this business?
Yeah.
This international entity is a little too, it's too good. They're too good at hiding things. I heard an interesting thing. The Catholic Church is the first and oldest intelligence agency. They've had their own intelligence wing for thousands of years.
Well, they have all of those tomes of fucking
They have a priest
library.
in every town.
Yeah, and they're like in the Vatican, they have a giant library.
Yeah, that you can't just go to.
And there are sections that you cannot get into.
Yeah.
Like they will not let anybody in there except for like the fucking Pope.
Even the local diocese, like the one in is it La something, La Prairie,
in Quebec.
Yeah. You can't just go there.
Really?
Yeah. You have to make an appointment, and they got to let you in.
To their library.
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
And their archives.
Wow. That's like the National Archives in the U.S.
It's probably harder to get in.
Wow.
Because ultimately in the U.S. the people own all that stuff, so they have to show you it.
What do they got to make sure you never read a Dan Brown book or some shit?
Something like that. Make sure you're not like some native person trying to figure out who was diddling your relatives.
You were banging my grandpa.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't hate on the Catholics or anything, but there's a lot of funky shit that went on.
I do.
And I don't understand. Like, I just don't understand why that stuff is allowed to continue.
Same reason why a very nice Jewish intellectual will make excuses for Zionism.
Yeah.
The same reason an American will make excuses. The same way Native people, we make excuses for our bullshit too.
Yeah.
We just love to blame on our problems, and
it's never our fault.
yeah,
it's never the individuals who's doing these things. It's never their fault. There's always an excuse.
The corporations pollute, so me throwing my garbage out the window doesn't matter.
You know what? I think that's actually because for all of the shit that you and I talk, and like for the horrible person that you are and that I am, at least we own our shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
and we recycle.
Yeah, I do recycle.
I do too. I'm really bummed out that most of it doesn't actually get recycled.
And I stopped intentionally running over deer. So
that's because you're not a bad shot.
I save those for political rallies. Okay, I better stop fucking doing that. I'm definitely going to be getting a knock on my door.
So we got some elections. We got a local election coming up.
Yeah.
Number two.
It's
the do-over.
It's the
part due.
Run it back.
We'll get it right this time, probably.
Hopefully. Fuck, man. I don't understand. And because of the new job and my work schedule and stuff, I haven't been going to any meetings or any political stuff.
We need to get this man a grant. Get this man a grant so he can just be our news bitch forever.
I could do it. But anyway, I was looking at the new nominee list and all that kind of stuff. I really hope we don't have to go through another embarrassing situation like that. Man, that was fucked. That really was
Imagine.
Fucked. If it happens again, just shut down MCA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just shut it down. Shut it down for a while. Bring in some other people.
We'll
figure out how to. You know what? As fucked up as the tribe is, at least they can fucking hold an election properly. I mean, it's going to be beset upon fucking where you're only going to be, the clique that actually controls the tribe, those couple of families, they're going to end up getting what they want. But at least it's done properly. It's organized.
Imagine if you went back in time and you got that first white guy, that Indian agent who wanted elections in 1899, and you brought him now. See what you did? You were able to do this in 1899. You didn't even have electricity.
You know what? I fucking wish Philip was here right now. Philip White Creek.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I want to see what he would say to that. If he would just look at you like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Or if
they had elections before that. I know, but I like our lore.
Well, so do I.
I like our lore. I don't care if it's not 100% accurate.
Hey, the legend is better than the fucking truth, right? Yeah. It's more fun anyway. Most of the time.
Right? Let's make things legendary.
Oh. It's the loot chest with all the legendary items.
I always get that. Well, how? How would you do it? I don't fucking know. Magic?
Well,
how does anything get done? You have an idea and you get other people to believe in the idea, and then it happens.
Well, that's the whole thing. That's another thing is that you and I we've had people who said that will put more ideas out there about how you would do it. Mm-hmm. So we started to do that.
Yeah.
But the other thing is when it comes along to that stuff is we're just sitting here talking shit.
Yeah.
We don't script this out or anything like that. Like, we're just free flowing. So these are ideas that, probably have been sitting dormant in my weed-soaked brain, but, eventually you'll say something that'll kickstart, that fucking resonated fucking part of my mind, and I'll have an idea.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? Sit here and flesh the whole fucking thing out in an hour?
Right.
No. And then I'm going to forget this shit by the time. And I don't listen back to the shows, so I'm going to forget most of this shit the moment I go home and smoke fucking 4 pre-rolls in a row.
Yeah. 4. Damn.
No, I don't really.
I'll just build another porch.
No, all the guys know. Yeah, hey, man, the porch looks good. Everybody should see it. Josh did this all by himself.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people find that surprising. Like, just I don't know. Do a lot of people just not do that?
No, they don't. I wouldn't even attempt it on my own. Like, I gotta get, like I said, I give you a lot of credit. That was pretty fucking impressive. You were able to do that like that, because I would have fucking lost my shit and burned all of it. And I'm a big giant fucking baby.
Yeah. That'll be on my resume. Started a TV show and built a porch. All for under $10,000.
Fucking A. Man, it was. I don't know though. It is impressive to look at that thing. It's solid too. Held my big ass up.
Yeah, I mean they. In our community we kind of like eschew building codes. I don't think it's just really. We don't like building codes. I think it's just like we don't want others telling us what we can and cannot do.
Yes.
I know there's an entire department now called the compliance department that's whose entire job is telling you what you can and cannot do.
Yes.
And that gets annoying.
It really does.
However, every building code is because something fucked up. It's just like every safety regulation is because somebody lost a piece.
Yeah, I don't think. See, I'm not a builder or whatever. I know a lot of guys who are contractors and carpenters and all that kind of shit. I'm quite sure that we could come to some kind of happy medium where it's like, well, hey, if you put that fucking heat inside of the wall, you're going to burn up the whole fucking house. How about you don't do that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like some shit like that.
Yeah, like I work for the fire. But I've heard firefighters say, please don't do that.
Yeah.
I want to sleep all night.
Yeah.
I don't want to pull you and your dead children out of your house.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it really wrecks my day.
I used to be in the fire department when I lived down there and for a couple years.
You could again.
They have a gym. I could.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I got kind of shit. I don't know if fuck it. I don't care. When the bodies were found, when the aliens, they got
that whole thing.
So I was out, obviously, like covering it, and I was being respectful of. I knew that the firemen were going through, some heavy shit. But I peeked my head into the station at SNI one night, and one of the guys in there was super fucking asshole, dickhead, rude to me, and like, I'm like, I get, you know what I mean? Like, all you had to say was not right now. You didn't have to be a complete and total fucking prick.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go away. Okay, fine. But, that doesn't give you fucking free reign to be a complete fucking tool bag.
Yeah, I think we need to focus on mental health a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. Like, I already,
Yeah.
Did you see my face?
Yeah.
I just fucking started turning on my anger full force. Like, I can see that guy's face right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like our fire department.
Me too.
And I think the fire department is the same. I would use a similar model for security. I'm not going to call it law enforcement. I'm going to call it security and dispute resolution.
Well, I mean, being in the place where I work now, I see a model more based along the way that you and I have talked about before, community care, that's done by, and it doesn't only have to be men, I guess, but that really is, kind of outlined as one of our responsibilities.
I mean, just on a physical thing.
Right.
There's girl cops who, if they didn't have a gun, they would be screwed.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm not saying women shouldn't be cops, but
no.
The truth is,
if they didn't have that gun and taser.
Yeah.
Although that's also true of most of the police force.
Yeah. I know you've said that before, which, I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but.
Well, they're just dudes, right?
They're probably, I mean, it's like, but yeah, I mean, like if.
You get a little training, but like you're not a combat trained.
No.
Most of the time, the gun and badge is enough.
Yeah, sure. That's kind of the point, right?
If you need to pull that thing out for real, like not like you're scared because they have a machete.
Yeah.
And you're 20 feet away, but you still gun them down.
Yeah.
Like, no, like if you're actually, if you actually need it, then that person's probably pretty wild.
Yeah. I can see that. I mean, at this point, someone comes at me with a machete, I'm going to fucking shoot him too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm not, because I don't have my gun. Wait, hold on. I got to go upstairs.
Neither do I.
I'm just gonna get back in my car and run them over.
Like you did to that squirrel. I'm kidding, people. I've never seen. Actually, I can't imagine you abusing an animal.
No.
Fucking hippie.
Yeah.
Well, not that I would either, but
I don't even really hunt anymore.
no.
I'll hunt with my kid. I'm gonna take him hunting just because he wants to hunt.
Yeah.
I could rather. I don't even like venison.
What?
I don't like it. I like moose. I like elk.
Oh, moose is so good.
I like
I've
turkey.
never tried elk.
I do not like deer that much. Not enough to like go through the whole. I had a deer right behind my house because I have apple trees. So he's right.
Oh, yeah.
Like I just have to open my window. I could probably stab him.
Yeah.
And my kids are like, "Oh, get your gun."
Yeah.
I said, "Which one of you actually wants to gut and clean?
There you
and
go.
Hang a deer today." And nobody wanted to. I said, "Go get the camera."
Yeah.
And we took some real cool selfies
Yep.
with the deer. So
I've never actually went hunting myself.
I use the term hunting loosely. My land is mostly like I'm surrounded by
I
apple
see a
trees.
deer, so I'll take one down.
Yeah. I lean out my window.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Because I do like venison. I'm not saying I prefer moose, I prefer buffalo, but I do like venison.
Yeah. You know what's better than venison? Steak.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I think that's also part of we've been kind of conditioned. You know what I mean? Our taste buds have gotten used to those.
It could be
meats.
that, but I just think it tastes better. Because I'll take moose over steak.
I would take moose over steak too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
And I don't eat a lot of moose because not a lot of moose.
Where you gonna get moose?
Yeah. Can't just go to Aldi's yet.
Well, that's one of the you know what, dude? Have you ever seen you can buy moose meat online, or if you're up in Ottawa, like at certain butchers and shit like that, but it's like fucking $40 a pound.
Yeah.
So like when some of the guys go moose hunting, like they'll all get almost every year, every single one of them gets a moose. So they'll give me a little bit of moose,
right?
And I go through that shit so fucking fast.
It's so good.
It's so good.
We do live in a food desert.
We do?
Yeah. Think about it. Like, where do you go for your food?
Messina.
Yeah. So you drive 20 miles.
Yeah.
To go get food from the Walmart. And how long would that last? How many options do you have?
Yeah.
So we live in, it's not as bad as some places. It's not like up north where you got to fly in milk.
Yeah. It's not like the bodega in Brooklyn that,
It's just kind of interesting that here in the heart of farm country, we are surrounded by farms. There's actually not very much local. There's some, and it's probably better than it used to be. But especially if you're in like Snai or St. Regis, just because of their unique geography.
Yeah.
Our unique socio-political geography.
That shit drives me nuts, man. Like, because when I emceed from the first fuckery election, I hosted the two Meet the Candidates nights at the rec, and boy, I was listening to the things that were being said in there, and like, I hadn't really pondered on it before, but it's really fucked up how isolated Snai is. It's really fucked up.
Yeah, we tease them about it, but it's not.
It's not funny.
It's not cool.
And you really
annexing it to the American side would help.
Yeah, actually, I think it would.
I don't know how I don't think you can do that. The U.S. doesn't like giving up, or Canada doesn't like giving up land to the U.S.
Fuck Canada.
Right? What are they going to do? They got the population of New York State.
They talk like fucking Terrence and Phillip. They can eat it.
But for real, it's like silly.
It's really fucking horrible.
And I think though part of what I have this theory that the American side is a bit more enterprising, the Canadian side, just because of historical reasons,
right?
And that idea of dependency, that's why you still end up with councils the way they are over there. It's just the structure and the teaching and the model.
Sure.
And if people and some have taken upon themselves to just do it, like I do think they can. That's like the food thing is something we can work out.
We definitely need to do that.
It just takes someone who's enterprising enough and willing to take the risk to have the grocery store and transport stuff and even take the risk of like just bringing stuff over the border without.
And not fucking having an IGA. You know how much money has been put into that fucking IGA at this point?
That build?
$50 fucking million.
At least.
Jesus
The tribe paid
Christ.
$13 million for the property in the building initially.
How much did
after they bought it
Studio-
off? I don't know.
Millions.
20 million?
I mean, the shit is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And 30 million to fucking turn it into offices. It's I don't know, it's fucking ridiculous. Shit is so fucking ass backwards. And you know, spend 30 million on turning that into offices. Why, you know, a food desert. And this is an issue that I brought up when we were both running for council. Why don't we have a fucking grocery store? You know, even okay, if it's a problem to get you know, to get a franchise for like Aldi's or Save a Lot or whatever. Okay, then why are we not focused heavily on doing it ourselves? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's baffling to me. I don't understand this.
I think we could. Like, I think there's individuals who could. I think if you own a grocery, it's your life. And we're just.
Yeah, I can see that.
Do you want to do that?
I actually wouldn't mind.
There you go. We found your business plan.
If I had the fucking money, I would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just need an investor.
Yeah. I would do it.
Let's bootstrap this.
Look, how funny would it be for a big fat Sasquatch like me to own a fucking grocery store? That would be funny.
What do we call it? Big Eyes.
No.
Too close to Big E?
No. Oh, I don't know. We'll have to ponder on that one.
There's a lot of the big guy puns already taken.
Yeah, that's true.
Thickness.
Something. Okay. Oh, something about a fat boy. I don't know. I still don't get that one. Like, I don't know. Because I think that would be funny.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why fat people get upset when people say that they're fat. Like, if you're not being picked on, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're fat. Yeah, you're fat, dude.
Right.
Like, I don't get it. Whatever. Like, if they're being cruel, then okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, if anything that comes after the word fat.
fat boy. You're losing it, fatty.
So what are your picks for this upcoming election? You think Kamala's going to get it?
I don't know. I'm starting to lean that way.
The machine wants her.
The machine, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They did a hard pivot from Biden.
It was fucking ridiculous.
It went from Kamala's a goofball to she's our savior.
Yeah.
She's like Ripley.
I've never, you know, I'm 43, but I've never seen any shit like that before.
It changed
Ever.
so fast.
Yeah.
Oh.
I really do believe. I think she's a fucking bubblehead. Like, there's.
Well, that's perfect for the machine.
It is. That's the thing.
You don't want a person with conviction.
I mean, or a fucking halfway decent fucking brain who can analyze and sift through all this shit. Actually, Dave Smith was talking about Trump and, well, he was talking about the debate, but he was speaking about Trump and Kamala in terms of just like their knowledge base.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you know, those are two people who you can tell don't read books.
Mm-hmm.
And he's right. Like, you can tell those two don't know shit. Like,
Yeah.
if you took all of those aides and advisors away from them, they probably couldn't tell you who the fucking Axis and Allied were during
Yeah.
World War II.
They certainly couldn't build a porch.
Gee, no, they couldn't. That's a good way to wedge that one in.
Yeah.
Josh, you deserve credit for that, though, my friend. It is good. It is good. Everybody come out here and we'll hold a little event, and it'll be a Sage Against the Machine cookout. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not claiming to be some highly learned fucking historian or anything like Philip or anything, but I just, you know, it's kind of hard to take people seriously who you really can tell are just not knowledgeable about
Yeah.
anything,
And they don't need to be.
No, if you get hooked in with the right people and you can be charismatic, and you are more than willing to just take direction,
Yeah.
okay.
So locally there's going to be an election.
Yep.
Probably.
Yep. Hopefully.
Someone will win, we think.
I think we'll get a result this time.
So
It sticks.
who you rooting for?
I'm hoping Leonard wins for Grand Chief.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
I got to speak with him at length when I was hosting the Meet the Candidates nights during the first fuck around. And super smart dude, really, really sincere. Like when you're talking to somebody and that sincerity really comes across.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any evidence of him being in this for self-interest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really like the guy. He's super sharp, super sincere. I really think he wants to do this to help.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always, to me, that's one of the biggest things for me is what are your motivations behind all of this? And I honestly, maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see any malice in there at all. I don't. Obviously I want Scott to win.
The memes will be tremendous.
Oh man, come on. You know it.
With nobody able to stop him.
The big brown scary man. Yeah, Josh. Or yeah, Scott, that's a shout out, baby. But and then, after that, I don't really the people running for district chief and on the island and in Saint, I don't really know them that well. Fallon is cool. When the Snide group wanted to challenge the referendum usage from 20 years ago for the land claim settlement, she was bold and took a courageous step and signed an affidavit saying, she wasn't of age at the time to have voted for that referendum and that she believed correctly that there should be a new referendum conducted in order to give people who either weren't young enough or weren't born, whoever, to have a chance to have their say on this. She was absolutely right on that. I really respected that about her, and I really, 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 I really respect that about her. I really hope that she wins because I think right now what we're seeing is there's more of a chance for things to change more substantively at MCA than there is at the tribe, because the tribe is just fucking everything stuck in the gears,
Well, I mean, the staggered election kind of makes it impossible to sweep.
Yep. And
I think that was the plan.
Probably.
That's why they have it.
Yeah,
it was. It was called for continuity of governance.
Yep.
Not expected. What if you don't want that?
Yep.
What if you like throwing all the plates on the ground sometimes?
Sometimes it's fun.
I mean, sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah.
I think the U.S. has to do it.
Yeah. It needs to be cleaned out sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, if the U.S. really takes liberty seriously, you might have to clean sweep somehow.
Yeah.
Stop being party loyal and
do the right thing.
Yeah.
Come on, Spike Lee. But how else are you gonna? Nothing will change if you know what I mean. It's a cliched thing, but cliches have a basis in truth, and nothing changes if you just keep going with this shit. That's why, it is exciting when MCA does an election like this because it's all everything can change just like that. And
it hasn't for 30 years.
Yeah, well, it hasn't. But I do see younger people who are looking like they're going to win and who would really want to upend the apple cart, which is a good thing because the tribe is fucked. I'm hoping that Don really is committed to changing, or at least letting the community know, the slog that he has to go through dealing with things there, you know, and how much, you know,
Hey.
what's actually going on.
Yeah.
I hope.
Maybe he'll come on our show.
Yeah. You heard it here. Mr. Thompson, we want you on the show.
You could be famous to
Yeah.
30 or 40 people.
Yeah.
No, it's like 300.
Yeah. Usually get 200, 300.
That's actually not bad for a average podcast.
Well, for a fucking show like this, like, who the hell, like, the audacity of us to do a podcast about Akwesasne, like, politics and shit. Only fucking, man.
Bunch of assholes we are.
So fucking great. I'm sorry, but we are fucking pioneers, buddy.
Yeah, it's weird.
We're awesome.
It's so weird.
It is weird, but it's also like, why not do it? You know what I mean?
I really dislike the way information is manipulated and massaged. As a guy who reads the news, like, I really don't like it. I don't like how it's commonplace and accepted.
Yeah.
And I don't do it.
There.
You know, I'm not going to do it. And I encourage everyone with a shred of integrity to, like.
That's why I, you know, I mean.
You don't even have to be a good person, but just don't do it.
Well, I mean.
I'm not.
Have some integrity. I think you're a good dude. You know, when you're not being anti-Semitic. But,
I love the Jews. I'm shopping for my beach house in Gaza as we speak. I'm just
shit. It's gonna
look at my hair. All I got to do is like pull it like that, and here we go.
It'd be dirt cheap right now.
I might have to edit that.
Yeah, that might have to go out. Whatever. But no, I mean, that's the thing is, and that was why, you know, the thing I wrote, kind of the last like plea to the community about Indian time. It's because what people don't realize is, you know, essentially what the tribe and MCA have done is set up their own communicate. I mean, they have their
they have a newsletter,
but it's essentially their own
and their own TV station.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's
and
Pravda.
It is. It absolutely is. And people don't even think about that. You know, they're not really considering the full ramifications of that.
Yeah,
it's because all you're getting is this watered down fucking.
There they are. They're after us.
They are. Listen, where's the? Oh, it's that one.
There you go.
But
might want to pull that up a little bit more.
Yeah. But they, I mean, it's absurd. What you know, that they would even consider trying to tell the community that that's actually news.
And a journalist's job is not to be your friend.
No,
their job is not to put forward your message. Their job is like what's right and wrong and what is
going on.
Yeah,
what is going on, without because you know, don't get me wrong, I've written stuff where it's like, you know, I'm sitting in judgment of somebody, which I know is like, but not in my role as a journalist, like reporting a story. I make it very clear when I'm going to do that, and I do it, and if I have to, I'll eviscerate people. You know what I mean? But this whole idea of the communications departments for MCA and for the tribe of just relaying, you know, the in-depth news of what's going on, it's fucking nonsense. It's nonsense. And it's really a goddamn shame that the community has let our only, you know, journalistic outlet to go to the wayside like that.
Although most papers are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, absolutely.
This is not a problem just here.
No. But I mean, even just to keep, I mean, I would do that job forever if we could get paid.
Yeah.
You know, not even like
just a living wage.
Nothing extravagant. If
just
we could
$100,000 or
just
$200,000 a year.
Yeah, right. I mean, like
just $500,000.
I'm not even like, you know, I'm not saying like I want a ton, but I'll go dig into all of their shit. You know, I'm good at that. I like to fucking tell the truth. And you have the communications department, the newsletters, all that bullshit. It's not real. That's not what's really going on. That's surface level what's going on. Yeah, they want to take pictures of having an event, at Generations.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that's great. I liked covering community events, but that's not telling you, the stuff that's going on that affects all of our lives in terms of what policies that they're enacting and shit like that. It's a fucking shame, and it's gross, and I can't stand it.
All right. We'll have some
Random.
solutions. We'll have some solutions next time.
Yes.
Getting back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
A new episode will happen right quick.
Eventually. No, you know what though? With the new job, I think I kind of got an idea of
All right.
Yeah. When I can, when we can do shows now.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Well, this is Sage Against the Machine. I'm Joshua.
I'm Isaac.
We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.